wouldn't be running late if it wasn't for Jeff Kessler telling me what I can't and what I can. This is turning into a freaking job. I've got to check in before I do Facebook Live. Jeff kept me on until 5 minutes ago, and then I had to run around and do all this other stuff. Make sure I don't get in freaking trouble. You know, I liked it. I miss the old days when I used to have my live videos last year, 2 years ago. I think I started them. I used to have my live videos, and I kind of miss those days where I can just get up here and spew about anything I wanted to. The only thing I had to worry about is getting in trouble from Facebook or YouTube. Now I'm getting in trouble all the time. Got to talk to people before I go on. They got this human resource girl, and she's mean, from Short Porch. I'm going to take those off because I don't want to see what you guys are going to be talking about. And I get them squirrel moments, and I think I talk better, especially what I'm going to talk about tonight. I'll probably be asking some questions, maybe get some answers from people who know. You know, this is, and before I start, I'm going to kind of ramble here till I get some people on here. The way you guys used to see me doing Facebook Live a couple of 3 years ago. I think I started it maybe 3 years ago. And I've been with Short Porch for 10 months now. But the way I used to talk, I didn't give a rat's ass about anybody. I just get up here and talk shit. Said whatever I wanted to say. And talking about bats and weight distribution and flex and people and everything else. Problem with now, I can't do that. So, and if I do, I get in trouble. And then this big old, the thing about it too, and I'm not gonna fire some shots, guys. I'm not. But the part about it that I realized about it now, not like it was 3 years ago, is people cry victim. And they don't see what I see or hear what I hear. So whenever I get up here and it goes that far where I have to say something, you know, it's just, I've saw too much. So, and then people are on there, and here's what it did for me. You know, I got a lot more followers. I got a lot more people watching me. You know, we had 100 and something people on last week. I averaged probably anywhere from 75 people at a time watching, 10,000 within 2 days watching. So it is entertaining every once in a while, but I kind of say what I have to say and I let it go. And then what people get upset about is if I call them out. But I think that needs to happen more. I really do. You guys don't like something, you need to speak up and say something. There's people that call me out. I don't sit there and start trying to change everybody else's mind. I just let them go. And there is a few people that talk shit, not talk shit. I couldn't say that. I shouldn't say that because talking their opinion about me. So, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I don't get upset easily. Or do I care? 65 years old this next month. 65, and ain't nothing you guys are gonna say that I haven't heard before or grew up with. And so grew up on the south side of San Antonio. Tough market back then. Tough schools back then. You guys think, and I don't care if you do. It just doesn't bother me. But at least I didn't get kicked out. At least I didn't get kicked out of any organization as long as I've been playing softball, which is 1980, guys. 1980 I've been playing softball. I've never been kicked out of anything or suspended from softball, ever. And I've never had a restraining order against me. That's all. So, So yeah, it was fun while it lasted, but I was like watching some stuff the other day, and I was like, man, let it go. Just not to me, the other people. Just let it go, man. I don't care anymore. I moved on. We're building bats. I don't care. But congratulations to them for joining up with some stuff. And hopefully, I really do. And like I said in the text messages, I really do hope they're successful. I really do. They may not think that, but it wasn't about the company. It was about the individuals that I was talking about. So, intro. Guys, I'm on Facebook, as you can see right here. We're going to be pumping. We're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff later on. I'll be addressing some issues, not issues, but some questions that a lot of people post out there that I write down, and I want to address them in person and not to talk. I usually don't reply to people on Facebook or YouTube. Even, well, if you message me, I might say some things, but guys, if I don't message you, I'm doing a lot of shit. It just, today I was cutting video up. 5 hours worth of video, I think. I was cutting 5 hours worth of video up yesterday and today. Last night, because we hit yesterday. We're going to hit again in the morning. So on my days, we're going to turn into hitting twice a week. We have enough bats now where we're going to do that twice a week. And that is as long as we have bats here and we can talk about them. I have a review coming out tomorrow. I told you guys I was going to do that with Senior Softball Bat Reviews. So I'll be talking about the cheeseburger. Tomorrow, it'll be out around noon. After I get back from hitting, I'm going to put it out there. I just got to do some talking at the end. Basically, what the reviews are going to be that we're going to put out, my guys here in Texas, just like we were doing before for the last 15 years. We're going to hit the bats. You're going to see us hit the bats, short porch bats. And then we're going to sit there at the end of it and explain to you guys what better bat this fits anybody out there. Weight distribution numbers are going to be on there too. What the bat started off in compression, because I think that's big and that's going to the future. And you guys picking out a bat, you want a 200 compression right out of the wrapper. You want a 230 compression out of the wrapper. That's a little bit of education that you guys really need to know. You guys really need to know that. What does a bat start off in compression? That's going to tell you how hot it is right out of the wrapper, and I'll talk about that in the future whenever it comes up, basically. If you guys, heavy hitters, you guys want something that's going to start off, 225 plus, 200s for the slower swinging bat guys, 225 plus, 230, 240. I've done a compression test on a senior bat before where it compression tested like 260, 270 in that area, 280. That's going to take some swings and it ain't going to be hot for a while. So with our Kevlar, what we can do is get that compression down, 197 is which the cheeseburger actually will be at around about 200, right around there. They average right around that spot right there. So my first, and it will go up after I put it out tomorrow. My first review will be on the cheeseburger, and then it's going up on the website. That way, when you click on, if you're going to buy the cheeseburger, it'll be up there. You guys can listen to us talk about the bat, who it better fits, and which that cheeseburger is the Coca-Cola. Yeah, Coca-Cola bat. Soda pop, whatever it was. That was before me, I think. Anyway, that's that bat, but just on steroids, basically. So, guys, I'm on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, I have a membership channel. I don't need that to go out because it's going to have a bunch of stuff I need to talk about on here. I don't know how I'm going to do that though. So, you guys get on there. I have a membership channel on YouTube. I'm going to start probably once a month. I'm going to try to start doing it once a month where I do back giveaways on that membership channel. I'm going to talk on that tomorrow afternoon. Late tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to talk about a bunch of stuff that's going on. TikTok, I got a bunch of videos going out on TikTok. Facebook, I'm on it every day looking at stuff. I'm on the computer or on my phone quite a bit if I'm not out hitting, if I'm not in the gym, cooking, because I do cook at home. And every once in a while, my wife actually starts cooking too. So I didn't bring it downstairs either. There is some stuff that I started taking, and I think you guys have heard of it. It's the talk of everywhere you look. It's out there. It's methylene blue. I've started taking that about a week and a half ago, and I'm gonna let you guys know, kind of like a review on the methylene blue. It's supposed to be good for seniors, not necessarily, for the young kids, but for seniors. It's supposed to be some good stuff for there. If you look it up, methylene blue. It was on Joe Rogan, and then he talked about it. And from what I can read on it, it's good for your brain, good for energy, which I need. If you guys are new watching here, because I know a few of you guys are, because I'm friend requested every day. I've got a lot of friend requests, even on YouTube. I've got a lot of, what I'd like to do on YouTube is get to that 10,000 mark on YouTube. I'm at 9,000 right now on YouTube. I have not lost since I went from Senior Softball Bat Reviews to Short Porch. I haven't lost a lot of people. So, I haven't lost a lot of people. Actually, I've gained people. I hate it when these guys jump in here and they start cock blocking. I call it cock blocking. Your feed, and they start advertising for t-shirts and uniforms. Guys, I do not back anybody that actually does that. So use your own discretion when you're getting on there and you see somebody advertising. Actually, what they probably are is a follower, because you can be a follower and not a friend. And a lot of those guys are followers, and then they can jump in on I'd have to actually, after this, go in and ban them. And that's what I'm going to do. But just don't think because they're on here that I vouch for them, because I don't. And same thing with that senior softball buy, sell, and trade. Because on that senior softball buy, sell, and trade, guys, it's gotten so bad. From what I heard out there, I've sold some bats on there, but it's gotten so bad where you can't trust anybody anymore. People are selling bats that they say they got 15 swings on them. They grab them. They got over 300. Basically the same thing a lot of guys are doing when they turn bats into us, saying that it's cracked within 10 swings, and we get them back and they've got over 300, 400 swings. Guys, I've done this for 50. I know. I can tell with a bat. If you give me a bat, I can tell you, I guarantee you, any bat you give me, I can tell you how many swings within like 50, 60 swings on what it has on it. So when I get these bats that show pictures of them and they say they got 10 or 15 on them, I just go like, no, man, you don't. And I don't know why people think they can get away with that, and why would you even lie about that? Because the bat either got I'm going to talk about that too, bat got a paint chip or whatever on it. We had a launch, and I'm going to talk about that with Jeff here in about 30 minutes, but I need to talk about some things too. I read a lot of stuff that's said about Short Porch or anybody, and I try to answer, but I want to answer on here to try to clear a lot of things up. Short Porch does put out a lot of bats. But every bat that Short Porch puts out is better than the last bat that was actually, like if we did a 12-inch, we actually found a way to actually make that bat better and tuned it a little bit. Maybe made it more toward somebody with a slower bat speed, because that's the demand. So what we do with bats is we'll make a bat, we'll put it out there, and we'll find out what the demand is or who it fits, you know, because we are working with Kevlar, and that's something that we just got into, and we're kind of figuring it out, right? So when we see something like that's more toward this, and we'll actually make another one that's a little bit softer. So we do have a lot of launches because we cater to a bunch of people that swing bats differently, you know. It's like, yes, we do put out a lot of launches. Yes, we do. For now. You guys got to listen to what I say, because there's little hints and a lot of shit that I say. There's jabs too, but there's hints and a lot of things that I say. So listen, right? So somebody was saying about, thinks Short Porch needs to fix their cracking problem or their seam problem, because somebody had got a seam in a DDT. I very seldom have seen. I've seen it twice in a seam in a DDT. I have never had one of my DDTs what I hit with have a seam in it, but I can feel something, right? Like a straight seam. That just tells me that the bat is flexing, right? So it's going to get a little bit of crease in it. Maybe that might be a paint seam too. It might be a decal seam too, the way they put decals on. So any of the other bats. So that's, by doing this for such a long time, how I would judge it, right? That's what I would say it. So the thing that we don't have a lot of bats being returned to us for cracks. We don't have a lot of bats being returned to us for seams because of the quantity of bats we put out. We put out a lot of bats. So we don't get a lot of bats turned in and say, this one cracked on me, you know? So it's not a problem, because guys, anytime you do any kind of, they call them runs, you have spillage, you have breakage, right? So I always thought that, when I've been doing this for 15 years with the bat reviews, that there's a 10% breakage in all the bat manufacturers out there. So you're going to get bats that have blims in them or something like that. And that's just common. Short Porch is actually a lot less than that, right? Because of the material. So what we're finding out with a lot of our bats is if you hit hard balls, it'll get a paint chip in it because of a lot of the Spintech actually will wrinkle underneath there because you're hitting a harder ball. Our bats are developed for senior. All of our senior bats are developed. This is what you guys got to understand and listen to me. Our bats are made for seniors. If you're hitting anything over a 44-375 compression ball, and I'm not talking about the Onyx ball, I'm not talking about the old rock balls. Those are higher in compression, right? Not talking about those. I'm not talking about the waterlogged balls because they're heavier. I'm not talking about N2 because Adam Fowler talks about this. I'm not talking about the spinner balls because he's saying that's a little bit of a heavier ball and it's a high compression ball. So I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about if you're not hitting a 44-375, the way we make our bats to actually go with, you're going to have a little bit of a paint chip. You're going to have a little bit of a crease. Because what we're finding is when that ball, it'll wrinkle that paint on it, and you'll get a little paint chip in it. But we're not seeing a lot of them. You know, if you are, please call the store and we'll take care of it. The warehouse. So that's one thing I wanted to address. Our Kevlar is holding up. I've got bats, guys, and I can sit here. I don't want to talk about it because I've talked about it in the past. You can hear me when I do the BP session like tomorrow. I've got 2 bats in my bag that has over 800 swings on them, right? But the only people that swing those are me. You got Billy Husta, you got Mike Garibay, and you got the girls, and me. That's the only ones that swing them. I kind of keep them away from Murray because he's such a freak. You know, leverage and long arms the way he is. I mean, so yeah, I kind of keep him away from Clem. I let Clem swing it about 5-6 times, and then that's it. I take it. You guys can see the video. I take it back from him. So, yes, I do baby my stuff, and I do break them in. That's a question too that I get a lot about breaking my bats in. I don't do when I first start swinging on my first round, when I have a brand new bat, which I do, I have a orange juice DDT that they brought down last week that I'm gonna start breaking in tomorrow, and I'm gonna take real light swings with it, you know, because we have 44 375s. Clem's got the 52 300s. So when I'm swinging on the 44 375s, I'll just take easy cuts, and I'll take a lot of them. It's actually a workout for me because I like. I mean, it's just get a little bit of cardio in. So I'll sit there like tennis and just start hitting them, roll it in my hands, and just start hitting them over 100 times. So basically, what you do off a tee. Tee is the best way to, I think, break bats in. I think tee. I'm not a big fan. If you guys heard me this in the past, I'm not a big fan of tee work for getting your swing down. Tee work to me is for working out your forearms, right? So you want to do a bunch of tee work when you're working your forearms, and you can get them stronger by swinging a little bit heavier and lighter, a lot lighter, but heavier bat. Not real heavy because you don't want to struggle. You don't want to get barrel drops, all this other stuff. That's another video we can put out later on. So explosive movements off a tee. You know, I agree 100% that actually helps with the forearm. Explosive, not just hitting to get cardio in, just do explosive. And plus breaking your bats in too. So I think that's great. Guys, there is a lot of, and I want to clarify this. And I'm getting feedback on it, so I just want to make something clear here. We have OG Blackouts. We love the OG Blackout, like a lot of the guys that actually have swung them. A couple of guys said they hit them in their league and they've got over 500 swings on them. These are the older guys. That OG Blackout was made more geared toward the older guys. It is the best bat I've ever swung, ever swung. So we'll tease in these videos where we'll have an OG in our hands and we'll just hit them, you know. Trey, no. I think Trey, you know, has that higher bat speed. Clem, no. Clem might have one that he's kept, you know. Me, I have had 4, a couple of 27s, a couple of 26s. My wife has 2 25s. Zena has two 25 and 26. Mikey Garibay has 1 26. So yeah, we have all the old Blackouts because we knew how good that bat was. So what we'll do in video, we'll get out there and just hit them just to play around. Because in my opinion, hitting a 44 375 with a Blackout, same as hitting a Joker ball with that 700 compression, 650 compression with a regular bat. That's how much I love that bat on the OG. So yeah, we'll kind of throw it out there a little bit, kind of jabbing or poking it to all the people in the pouch. It'll never work. It'll never work. You know, it's, you know, eight, was that 8 months ago? About 8 months ago. No, it might have been 6 months ago. And so we do take jabs at people because that is, in my opinion, the best bat ever made. We're not going to do it all the time because we keep them for games like tournaments that are coming up too. So especially the girls and Mikey, who is 70. But the feedback we're getting off of those bats is everybody loved them. All the older guys thought it was great. They loved that bat. You know, they're mad because we didn't bring it back, but I just like playing around with you guys anyway. Guys on here about the movement. Let me explain to you. You guys see that where it says movement in the back. You guys new guys. I'm just going to go through this real fast here. Everybody watching this video tonight, men and women, need to find out, for one, your compression. What is the best compression that you swing in a bat? Because you'll notice when you guys have to break a bat in, there's a formula in there toward your bat speed. So depending on what your bat speed is, you have a compression number. Mine on my DDT, okay, mine on my DDT is 190 to 165. So that's my number. If it gets below 165, I'm giving that bat away, okay? And I know you guys don't have compression testers like, you know, everybody, because those damn things are expensive. The one thing I will tell you, you can tell because of the pop on where your number would be. And you can tell if it gets too soft for you, because it'll implode on you. You'll feel that little, make a different sound. It'll make the barrel almost seems like it's not recoiling on you, and you won't get the performance. So our Kevlar is holding up into the 160s. I found out if I square ball up, if I get to 155, it kind of implodes on me a little bit, and I don't want that. I want a crisp shot because I do spin the ball quite a bit. Another thing too is your weight distribution numbers. Guys, in the best way, because of the way you weight a bat, you have a scale on one side and then you got a bat tape on the other side. You need to know your weight distribution numbers. The way you find that out is the best bat, it probably in your bag, right? So you go out there and you scale and it's a kitchen scale, guys. You can go to any kind of grocery store and get you one. So you need to find out what your numbers are. What numbers do you like? Balanced end load, 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce end load. That's your number. The best bat you have in your bag, find out what that number is, and that's the bat that you need to pick off of, because we do have weight distribution numbers that are going up on our website. That's another thing too. Then you need to find out what your miles per hour are, right? And I know this is tough for a lot of people out there, but we're not 40 anymore, right? Because I can pick up anything at 40 and hit it. So a lot of you guys up here watching this that are 40 and go, what the hell is this guy talking about? Because I can hit anything. Yeah, you can hit anything, but wait till you get to 65 or 60 or 55. Wait till you have an injury, and then you're going to be thanking me for this shit later. Wait till you get to be our age. And then you're going to go, okay, I know what he was talking about now. Miles per hour, guys. If you can't hit it out of a 300-foot park, you have that slow bat speed. If you can hit it over, but not that far over, 20 feet, 320, 315, around that area, you got that medium bat speed. If you can hit them shots at crowd pleasers that everybody wets their panties at in the stands, that guys you want, all the girls, I hope I don't get in trouble for that. Then you have high bat speed. You got the little attitude going, I got to pick up anything. I can pick a tree. Yeah, you can pick up a tree trunk. So this is just something you don't need to know, but you will need to know it later. So when you start having that diminishing bat speed. So yeah. And I'm sorry if I offended anybody there, because I know I do have a lot of ladies here. Same thing with the ladies. I would put them in a category of medium to medium low bat speed. You'll find out that you'll pick up a little bit more exit velo, a little bit more miles per hour on your swing. And another thing too, guys, when you do I want to do it on this one. Shit, I have one right there. Okay. Your kitchen scale. Guys, this is important. Your kitchen scale. You need to find out, okay, this is a kitchen scale. It's not, but you know what I'm talking about. This is actually a mic reader, and I'm not even gonna mess with it. Anyway, let's say this is a kitchen scale. A lot of people out there getting different numbers than me. So I'm going to kind of go through everything tonight. What you need to do is find out the height of your kitchen scale and find you something that you can balance the end. This end right here onto a bat tape, right? This is what I use, because my kitchen scale, I find out that I did this. I don't think this happened. I actually took that off because I wanted to show people something on the DDT. Oh, here's another one. I can tease you guys with this. You see what this is? It doesn't have any spin tech on it, does it? It's an OG. So what you want to do, and I hope you guys see this, all right? You want to get this in where it's not like that and it's not like that. You're going to get readings that are totally off. You need to make sure that it's level. It's right on there, maybe a little bit up, where that N is right in the middle of that scale. It's got to be in the middle of the scale, right? You can't have it like that, and you can't have it like that. You're going to throw your numbers off because you guys are pulling up way different numbers than what I am. Here, you can only look. It's not for you. You can only look at that thing. So, and no, it ain't for sale. And if it was, I wouldn't gouge you anyway. I'm not that guy. I would not gouge. I've never gouged anybody. You guys your numbers are off on the kitchen scale. That's probably why it's very, and guys, you just by that little tilt, you can be off by a whole ounce or half an ounce. So make sure that you have something on the other side. And every kitchen scale is not, you got to understand this. Every kitchen scale is not the same. So when I tell you use a bat tape, that bat tape might not match. So you got to look at it. You might have to get something smaller than that bat tape. And don't use one of those Bucky cans either. Some guy uses that and he throws all of his stuff off, Jeff Kessler. So scaling bats, guys, it's something that you really have to know what your scale numbers are, right? You're talking about, here's another thing too, guys. You're talking about a batting average thing. You're talking about anything that's going to raise your batting average more than 10%, 20%, 15%, something like that. You got to do it. You got to do it. We're not in our 40s anymore. I argue so much with 40-year-old guys who come by the tent or try to talk to me on the phone. I'm like, okay, I can't convince you, nor do it. That's my favorite saying. I can't convince you, nor do I care if you're convinced. Because there's no, when you get, you guys know this, when you get past a certain age, it just can't talk to people. It's like, okay, all right. You don't even want to debate me? No, I don't want to debate you because you're not making sense. Guys, our launch, another thing too, when we do a launch, it's scheduled. Our launches are scheduled every year. Like we know what's going on. So it's just not throwing shit out there and hoping it's going to stick. We have schedules. We've got launches coming up in a couple of months, next couple of months. Not next month, but month after that. So we have stuff that leading all the way into Vegas. So do we put out bats? Yes, we put out bats, but all of our bats we put out are different. And I talked to Jeff about that today, that, God, I can't even go there. I wish I could, but every bat that we put out is going to be better than the last bat that actually was made for somebody with that bat speed. You guys noticed that, the cheeseburger came out. Well, cheeseburger is made specifically for those lower bat speed people. So when you have a bunch of bats that are being out, it might not be for you. It might be for someone else. Another one coming up in another 3-4 months might be a ladies bat. So that's another launch we're going to have. So these guys are going, y'all put out a lot of launches. Yeah, because we cater to a bunch of people. Now, we said that from the beginning. That's what we were going to do. So these are people that don't know about the movement. That's how come every week I got to go through it and kind of, hey, this is like going and getting fitted for clubs, bat speeds, and I know a lot of those young guys don't understand that part, I'm trying to tell them, just wait till you get older, because basically you can swing anybody's bat out there. Somebody was saying, why are you leaving out the major plus guys? Why don't you cater to them? Well, a lot of the major plus guys are in that 100-mile-an-hour bat speed. There are a low percentage of them that do slap the ball around, that need that softer barrel, and those are the guys that are watching. It's not the guys that have got that 100-mile-an-hour bat speed, because they can pick up anything. I had Bubba prove it one day. Bubba had 10 bats in front of him. He picked them up, and there were some shitty bats in there, and he hit home runs with them out of a baseball field. So, yeah, I've already proved that on video. So I've been on video, but I'm talking to the guys that haven't watched the video, So, yeah, we do cater more toward AA, AAA, weekend warrior guys that get out there and just want to play in leagues in San Antonio or wherever they want to play, or they, they're playing with their group of guys, or they actually like going out of town in Texas, going out of town in Texas and playing these little tournaments, coming back home. They don't want to get out of the state. That's who are major people. There's a lot more of them than there are the top 1%ers. So yes, we do cater them a little bit more because that's the biggest demand. That's who. Now, your guys with that, the major plus players that have that, God, I played against you guys for 10, 12 years. And I see you guys. You guys, you get these you're a factory hitter for them, and I can't tell you what I think you should swing, because you're already getting bats given to you. It's not that we don't care about you guys. It's just that a lot of you guys get whatever you want to get because you have that high bat speed. Oh, man. See, I'm going through this pretty fast now, too. And I can't see everybody that's talking. That's a good thing. There is, and I know we're going to talk about some bats when Jeff gets on here too, but guys, there is, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to kind of mix that out because I don't want to get into that. I don't want to talk about that. Somebody asked this question. I'm going to bring Jeff on. Somebody asked this question because I'm getting up there. Somebody asked this question about a lot of, and Jeff actually told me this the other day too, was a lot of the conference guys and a lot of the 40-year-old guys that are out there are a lot of the muscle heads, right? Not the big guys. The muscle heads are going down to 25, 26 ounce bats. Well, Rob, I don't consider him a muscle head. He's an athletic guy. He's a big guy, but he's an athletic guy. Swings a 28. Brandon Murray swings a 28, 29. Probably could go up as a 30. Rob could go to a 30, swing it. Here's the deal about that, guys. What they don't understand is this guy was trying to wrap his head around a lot of the musclehead guys, athletic, big guy, swinging 25 to 26. Here's the deal. It's bat speed. If you're that big, you have tremendous bat speed. Now, here's the one thing, too, and I'll bet you a lot of these guys that they call musclehead guys, a lot of these big bodybuilder guys, I guarantee you, they're swinging a 25 and a 26 with very little handle weight. Like a DDT would be, because the handle weight on a DDT, that handle on a DDT is like 3 ounces, 4 ounces. So what it's more of generating because they're getting it, because I preached this shit 15 years ago. I swung a 26 ounce all my life. Billy Blake, you see how big Billy is? One of the top 3 long ball hitters in the world to this day. Right now. I'm not talking about composite, I'm talking about aluminum, right? So one of the top 3 guys out there will vouch for him. The older guys will vouch for him. Swung a 26 ounce bat. So he wasn't swinging the 30 ounce bats back in the day. 26 ounce, but it's the way the bat was weight distributed, and that bat that made it swing like a sledge. So Billy's thought was, if I can swing that bat and I had that sledge effect, it's going to compress that wall a lot better, that aluminum wall a lot better. He got tremendous distance on the balls that he hit. So I think a lot of people are getting it. They're not going with that 28 ounce bat, because you tend to lose a little bit of control. What I find out with all these guys doing this is they actually batting average goes up. So they don't have barrel drop anymore. You ladies, I would preach that too, is find a bat that's lighter, but the weight distribution numbers on them are like, there's a formula to this too, guys. Not too much, not too less weight in the hands, because you tend to lose control. Me and Richard Clem talked about this. So you tend to lose control if you have too less of a hand weight. But you'll when you hit the ball, it'll go far because you're hitting that sledge effect, but you lose kind of control in the bat head. When you do that, you tend to get a crazy whip, not with the handle, but you hit a bomb like 20 feet further than what you did with a bat that has a little more handle weight, but your batting average will go down. So that's one thing. Me and Clem actually figured that out about 6 years ago. Clem, I think it was. We figured that out because we did testing on it to find out, because there was a bat company back then was having their handle weight in the 7s. So we compared it to a handle weight in the 8.8, you know, which the number I think is in your mid 8s, the high 8s, giving too much away. I can't believe Jeff Evan jumped on here because of that. But then I'll kind of bring Jeff on here. You guys got any questions? There's another thing too. You guys got any questions? You guys can, I go through here after this is over. I'll kind of go through there and look at the questions. I'll write them down like I do tonight, and I'll answer those questions at the end of the week, by the start of next week on Wednesday when it starts up again. But I'm only going to answer the questions that are, where you at? See, I don't even see him on here, and I see Trey on here. I was gonna wait till Jeff jumped on here and then talk about Trey here for a minute. I do not have Jeff jump on here. The thing about Jeff is he doesn't have an iPhone, and we're trying to correct that. But he doesn't have an iPhone, so it takes a little longer to get him here. We guys, that cheeseburger, I have the review going on at that tomorrow. Let me give you some numbers on that, because it comes in half-ounce inloads on that cheeseburger until Jeff gets on here. I talked to him an hour ago. But on the 25.5, it's got a 16.6 on the end and 8.8 on the hands. On the 26.5, it's got a 17.4 on the end, 9.1 on the hands. You guys got to love those numbers. On, I think we got a 26.5. I would love to swing that 25.5. We got a 26.5 that we're hitting in the video. You guys going to see tomorrow. And then the 26.5 got 17.4, 9.1. And that 27.5 got a 17.6 and a 9.5 on the hands. The thing about, guys, too, is these numbers that I'm giving you, it's got a 2.2 0.2 of an ounce variance on these numbers. You know, something could be off, but it's no more than 0.2 of an ounce. It shouldn't be no more than 0.2 of an ounce. And another thing too is make sure if you're doing these scaling, because I talked to Jeff today, I think a lot of the minions and a lot of the cult is what they've been called, the cult following, scale all their bats. And they actually know weight distribution numbers. All the guys that actually have been with me for a long time, they all know their weight distribution numbers and their compression number, all that other stuff. So definitely know all your stuff that you're doing. Where you at, boy? And I still don't see none of them on here. Trey and Clem are on here. Hey, get a hold of them. Tell them to come on. Because I don't see him on there like he's been on here. And I do not see, I don't know what's going on with Facebook, guys. I used to be able to flip my screen. I can't do it anymore. And I can't read all the comments. Well, the comments are up here. I can't read those anymore. And then it's hard for me to pick up people that aren't a part of, I guess, on my iPhone. I don't know what the hell's going on with that shit. So, hopefully they'll get on here. I see Bob Downs. Nothing's moving. Oh, let's see if I can get somebody to reply here. Oh, Leslie says Jeff is on. I'm looking. I don't see him. Leslie, tell him I don't see him. Tell him he's got to X out everything he has. Clear out all of his apps and then come back on. Or actually request. You know? Because he did that last time and I pulled him on after he requested. And that sucks that I can't see all of my people talking to me. My people being Trey and all them. See, now I can't see anything. So I can see it, I just can't see. See, I can't even add like Richard, Clem, or Trey. I can't add them. Tell them to try to join. We had a bat launch tonight at 6. I'll keep on looking up. I'm going to go through a lot of this stuff. That way, if he gets on, we can talk about all the stuff that we got going on. Guys, shit. Yeah, I already talked about that. Let me X out on that. I've got my computer I'm looking at too. But the DDTs, guys, they have the, I think we still have a few of those on the orange juice. And there is another run coming of the orange juice. Those are coming in. Those DDTs took off. Alan Hancock, his DDT on that 12.5-inch barrel, I think is what it is. 12.5-inch barrel. That bat is freaking amazing. What you get with that is a little bit more barrel. A lot of you guys, here's another thing too. And me and Jeff was talking about this today about this is what do you guys prefer? We're kind of get back in the day. Remember back, I guess more than 5 years ago, a lot of you guys like that 13-inch barrel. Not too many people, and I've talked to seniors in the past, not too many people like a 12-inch barrel. But I think the way everything's going right now, and maybe because of our 12-inch barrel looks the way it does, a lot of guys are swapping up with short porch in that 12-inch barrel, not going to a 13-inch barrel. What do you guys prefer? What do you guys like and why? I actually like a 12-inch because I think that you can whip it a little bit better and you get a little more mass on the end because I'm an end-loaded guy. So the theory was to, get an end-loaded, half-ounce end-loaded, and you got that 12-inch to work with, and you get that pop at the end. You get that whip at the end of your swing everybody looks for, right? But 13-inch, a lot of you guys were saying, well, I like a 13-inch because I hit it all over the barrel. Well, you really don't hit it all over the barrel. That's another thing, too. If you ever videotaped your swing and, bat to ball impact, you're only hitting it within that much. And that you can hit, like, it doesn't matter if you have a 12-inch. You're hitting it that same area on both the 12 or 13-inch. Same on both bats, right? Same on both bats. So the only thing that a 13-inch does different is it just widens it out. It's more of a fluid swing. You don't have that big whip at the end, with actually adds a little bit more power. So that's the only difference. But why? Why? Because what we're getting, and I don't think a lot of bat companies out there are getting this, but we're getting a lot of guys are wanting that 12-inch, 12.5-inch, 12.25-inch barrel. Not necessarily going too much to a 13-inch barrel. And if you guys think it's because of that's fine too. If you guys think, if you put a reply in there and says, I get it because I use most of the barrel, that's fine too. Or a lot of you guys think going oppo, which because of the way it swings, because of that whip, because you're opening up your hips and you get that whip. Maybe you want to push the ball a little bit, go to the center of the right field, and you want that 13-inch to help you a little bit on that push. DDT is the best bat for that. Allen's are mine. The orange juice are the original, the OG, which is going to come back later. Don't you guys panic about that. That's later on down the road. because it was made for those higher bat speed guys. My orange juice was made for that medium low. The other DDT was made, the first DDT, the OG, was made for that medium high. So that's, a lot of people are asking about that bat. So definitely that bat, we'll probably bring that bat back later. Because it was a very, very good bat. It did have that paint chip on it, but that's all it was a paint. Me and Jeff were talking about that today, that everybody was talking about that at the beginning because a few bats got it. I have 4 of those bats. 2 of them got it, 2 of them didn't. The 2 that got it lasted 1,400 swings on one of them, 1,200 on the other one. I've got 800 on the other 2, and I got a brand new one on the orange juice. I'm not talking about the OG. Charlie Mueller and Murray Williams actually use that bat, and they love it on the OG bat. See, it's changed, but I don't see you guys on it. I don't see any of you guys on it. And I don't even see where you guys are commenting either. So on that DDT, there are some out there. Alan has some. I mean, I know what happens with a lot of the reps that we have too is they'll actually get them DDTs up, and they actually are selling them out there too. Because just because you don't see them on our website doesn't mean that we're out. You know, the reps will usually have some of them, or they can find them for you. We have a Facebook rep, signature player, and factory hitter, and they ask for bats in between them because we try to get bats out to everybody. So it's a group text, you know, that they get into, a group messenger on Messenger they get into, and they talk to everybody about what's needed, or have somebody on the West Coast that's looking for something that somebody on the East Coast has, and they'll send it to them. So definitely ASA, the ASA bat is they have another run coming on that ASA bat out there. It is, that bat is, I've got a 26 coming. As soon as it gets here, I'll be hitting that 26. I thought the 28 was a little bit too heavy for me, so we got a 26 coming on that ASA. That Trey can swing, and with Clem, because Trey does hits with Clem. And that's another thing too, is Clem hits on Fridays. I think Clem won't be with us tomorrow. He's got a tournament this weekend, I think in Reno, is what they said. So he'll be playing in Reno. USSSA, last week, you guys heard that we've been approved on the DDT and U-Trip, and we're going to, you know, I don't know how come I can't get none of y'all. So the DDT has been approved for a U-Trip. We're in the process of, see, that's another thing too. When we do something, like when we had a bat drop like we had tonight, and Jeff will probably be here at the end to talk about that one. If not, I can do it. As we're working on the next thing, right? He's already the mad scientist, and you can hear in the video that was put up this afternoon on Facebook on the bat drop at Trey's bar. Is that on that that we put out all kinds of stuff. It's just not has any, you know, like we do short porch, like we do the senior, and then now we're working on an ASA DDT. So we got the U-Trip DDT out and work on the ASA. Now we're working on, we have already got the BB Core bat, which is a DDT. And then now working on a fast pitch bat, which is the DDT, because we got so many irons in the fire, guys. It's a lot. So when we did this drop tonight, we're working on other stuff for next month and the month after. So that's how come we have a lot of drops, because we have a lot of people to cater to. And when you're like an other bat company out there, and I understand a lot of you guys aren't used to this too. So it's not the norm of other bat companies, but we're not the norm of other bat companies, because they just do a run and they just keep pumping them till they lose interest. And then they'll put out another run and pump them until they lose interest. We actually got fingers going everywhere. And I think that's great when it comes to fitting a lot of the seniors out there. So USSSA, that's going to be in the next couple of months, 3 months, probably before Vegas, hopefully. Because once you get it approved, it's tweaking it a little bit, you know, paint jobs, stuff like that. Senior softball bat reviews. This bat right here. They actually, if you guys watched that on last week, they actually bought this bat and it was made for, and I know you guys got to turn this around, but on YouTube you won't because I actually flip it on my desktop. So this is the Senior Softball Bat Reviews. It's not like any other bat. You'll know this when you start swinging it and the sound that it makes. It's loaded a little different, guys. It's got a little lighter load to it. And I think what Jeff was telling me, because I didn't know he built this bat. He actually built this bat to my specs on what I would like. I swing a 27 in this. This is a 26. My wife got the other one. But tremendous performance, and you'll see those videos coming up in the next couple of days, but tremendous performance on the 26. That tells me, because it's got a 16, it's got a 16.4 on the end with 9 on the hands. You'll see those numbers right there. When you got 16.4 and you get that kind of performance, I mean, your barrel's freaking fire. That's good material in that barrel when you get that kind of distance without a load like that. That's basically short porch stuff right there. So they made this bat. It's a 12-inch barrel. It's got the handle flex on it, called a no flex, but it's got, I think it's got just a little tad bit, because when a lot of you guys need to understand, if they say no flex, it doesn't mean it swings like a log. It's just short porches language for a no flex. So a lot of you guys back in the day, and I remember this years ago, whenever I said it had no flex in the handle, a lot of you guys actually would say it just like a board. It swings like a board. No, this one doesn't. So it's got a little bit of flex, and the barrel's different. You got great performance on it. Can't wait to swing the 27 when it gets here. What they did was when they got them shipped in, they had the 25s and 26 first, and then a week later they got the 27, 28s, and they came in yesterday or today. And they're up on the website too, guys, if you want to go on there. I'm going to kind of go in and out here and talk, and then I'm going to try to bring them on. And I don't see any of them on now. And then this bat, we're going to hit it again tomorrow too on this one. Guys, real quick here, because I'm going to put a review out on this probably in the next week, because we're going to do a lot of video and it should get there tomorrow. It takes a little while to get this bat. I shouldn't say that, because it's got a 16.4 on the end. 16.4 bats on the end. It takes a little longer than an actual big end load. So if you got 17 on the end, it's going to take less time to get there. So this 16.4 is going to take a little bit of time to get there. We should have it there tomorrow afternoon, because we felt it yesterday when we were swinging it that it was getting there. It's making a different sound. So different bats and different sizes break in differently. You guys got to understand that, depending on what kind of mass you got on it, right? So if you got a 17-ounce end load, you're pretty good. And I usually gauge a lot of my bats on a 17-ounce end load. It usually takes about, depending on the barrel, anywhere from that medium bat speed guy, anywhere from 75 swings to get it where it's ripe. It's really good. It's getting there, and about over 100, it's there. It's ready to go. Again, too, guys, watch the balls that you're hitting with these bats. These bats are top-tier bats. You can't be out there hitting shit balls with them, or hitting stadium balls, because I know a lot of you guys like doing that. I have no feedback on anything that's being talked about. Jason's the last one. Oh, look, Bob's watching. So yeah, we're gonna really, I wasn't gonna bring that up tonight about the thong. Now I'm getting everybody chiming in. So this bat will be hitting it tomorrow, and I'm gonna talk about that. Great performing bat, guys. It's different. It's more. It's let Leslie ask. I can't see you guys. I can't see you on the feed. I don't see you guys on here. You might have to get off. Oh, looky here. We'll be hitting this bat tomorrow too before Jeff. I think Jeff's going to chime in here. We're going to be hitting this bat tomorrow too. Different bats here, guys. You got both these same bats right here. 2 different bats. This one's got a little bit softer barrel on it. Look at you, man. I was wondering when you were going to jump on here.
Dude, I've been trying to come on for 30 minutes. We requested, me and Leslie. You couldn't get us. So
I didn't see you on here till now.
yeah,
and then
I've
I
been
looked on there. You're
on.
way at the bottom.
Yeah, it just usually if you're having problems with seeing the comments, you're not going to get my request to come on for some reason.
And I had a problem. And then you know when it came on is when I flicked through here and all of a sudden everybody started commenting. And I don't know, it's not the internet here. It's got to be something Facebook did about 6 months ago, about 3 months ago.
Well, this is why we're going to go to a new pro podcast.
Yeah, we had talked about that.
Oh, Leslie
podcast
says she knows what's going on. What's going on? Let's see.
Oh, so when your comments start and you flip them, that means you're not looking at the latest comments. It'll say like you have 14 comments or 15 comments, 16 comments. You got to scroll all the way to the current comments, and it'll start them rolling again.
Yeah,
that's what happened. That's what I did. I actually
Yeah,
started.
that's not anything.
And then it said, Leslie, we are waiting, like you said. And then I got on there, and boom, you're on there. So then I went and got on there. So so right now you're kind of frozen, but I think you come back on. That always happens. Whenever
You're watching it.
Yeah, you're frozen. But that happened last week too, so it's no big deal. Not last week, the week before. Last week. So yeah, but I can hear you talk. You're frozen for a minute, and then about 30 seconds later,
he's not watching the current feed.
I lost it.
You have to. That's why.
Like I can hear y'all talk though. Well, now I can't. See, now I can see.
It's not letting me on him now.
Well, I can see you. I can hear you talk. You just froze up. That'll move. That's not a problem. As long as they can hear you. Until you bring that bat on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm getting old Facebook and the new Facebook.
Yeah, I can hear you talk. I can hear both of y'all talk.
I've closed it up.
Is he going to get out? Are you getting out, Jeff? Then I'm going to keep talking.
Yeah.
This bat went on. Yeah, I can hear you. I've always heard you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't get it to close out. I don't know what the hell's wrong with it.
Yeah, but you usually freeze up every other week too. That's not a problem. You'll actually it'll catch up to you here in a minute. As long as I can hear the voice. Like I can hear the voice.
I got you. Yeah, man. So we had to.
See, now I can't hear you no more. Unless you stop talking. And if you guys are commenting, looky here. Guys, I don't give a shit. I can talk for freaking 5 hours. We're going to be hitting this again tomorrow. I love the freaking paint job on this. This is badass. That's Leslie doing all that stuff too. But it's a one piece. This is a 26 ounce. So when you guys get these bats, because the 26 ounce is lighted, get a 27. So the numbers on the 27 is because of these numbers, and I can get you there pretty good. It would be a 17 on the end and a 9-2 on the hands. So I do like, here's another thing too, guys. I'm one of those guys where I do like that high 8, low 9s. I do love those numbers. See, they got off now. And then I'm going to try to bring them back on here in a minute and see what's going on, if I can get them on here. See, I cannot see them now. I cannot. And then, so yeah, we'll be hitting this up bat again tomorrow. It's softened up yesterday. I think we're hitting the ladies. Zena actually loves the swinging weight, guys. Wait till you see the swinging weight, because when you have a 9 on the hands and you got 16.5 on the end is usually what this is, about 16.5. Those are the numbers that I came up with years ago. Those were my favorite numbers, and I think you get more consistency with that 9 on the hands, 8 on the hands, up to a 9.2 when you're talking about a 16.5. This number goes up, this weight can go up. But we'll be hitting that again tomorrow. Then the cheeseburger, we're going to be hitting that again tomorrow too. And again, the review on this will be out tomorrow afternoon. And I'll let you guys, this bat, he got it to us when it had 300 swings on it. And this wasn't brand new when we hit it last week. It's got 400, probably about 425 on it right now. Nothing wrong with it. It is good to go. It's got that soft barrel sound. Ball flies. It's got that grip spin on it, that spin tech, we call it, that spin tech. It's got that on it. So if you cut it, if you're a cutter, the one thing I see with that spin tech is if you square like a Trey Roberts squares a lot of balls up. So when he squares it up, he'll tend to get a little bit of a knuckle on that ball. All that ball will actually move on him, and that outfield will break on him, right? That's what we're seeing in a lot of the spin tech that are out there. But if you cut it, like you mishit it, and it gets that Magnus effect where it goes up in the air, like it looks like you just hit a fly ball, it carries a long way. When on all of our, that's Leslie's design on that spin tech. It's her spin tech. She actually did that, mix those, the tackified stuff. She mixed that. So it's different. It's not like, guys, I have to explain this because it's not like we use our own material. So the spin tech off of our bats is sent over to China, and they put them on our bats. We only send them enough to put on our bats. We don't use the spin tech from China. So that's what I'm trying to say. So that's on that bat. If Trey Roberts would have got a hold of me today and came over, then I would have had his bat here. And guess what? I don't have his bat here to talk about it. That's why I wanted to get Jeff on here. But I will talk about his bat. What's up, Danny Gonzalez? I do not see anybody on there anymore. I don't even see my guys on there anymore. Let me do this again. Guys, there's another one coming out like right now again too. I've got 3 videos coming out tonight. All those videos, there is a launch on the bat today, and I'm going to get to it right now. I don't have the bat, I'm sorry, but there is a launch that actually happened, because we do that a lot. That's my dog. There was a launch that happened at about 6:15 and 6:45 tonight. Trey Roberts, Trey Roberts whiteout wig popper, 2025. Remember the wig popper? I think it was last year's. At the end of the year, he had a wig popper, and then now his new one is out. It is different, guys. You guys can watch the video on Facebook. You can go back and watch it. They're on my feed. There's 2 of them. There's gonna be another one as soon as I get upstairs after this podcast. I'm gonna go upstairs, and I'm gonna put the one with Jeff Kessler swinging. It's only about a 30-second video, and then we will do a review on that bat after tomorrow. So I've got a couple of reviews coming out by next week. Now let me talk about this bat a little bit. If you guys watch the 6:15, it was a launch. We're down at Trey's place. You hear Jeff Kessler in there saying it's a 1 ounce end load. it's a 3/4 ounce end load, right? Because the numbers that we were crunching on that was a 3/4 ounce end load. Jeff didn't misspeak. He just, we got together and talked about it. And it's probably, it's like Brandon Murray had a 1 ounce end load. That was a true 1 ounce end load. Our 3/4 ounce end load more matched those numbers. So we started doing numbers on them, and that's more geared toward a 3/4 ounce end load. So if you go to the website, it's on Short Porch's website, you'll see that it's a 3/4 ounce end load. Guys, you guys remember and listen. Well, let me go through about this bat. In the wrapper, it compression tested 200, right? The old whiteout compression tested at 220, 225. There's a little variance in there because we got on that 220 to 225 when we're doing compression tests on all the new whiteouts that we have from 2024. So this 2025, he changed things up. He didn't tell Trey about it, as you can see in the video. He made this bat. What he did was he lowered the compression on it, put spin tech on it. So out of the wrapper, it's a 200, 197 to 200 compression on that bat. It's a little softer barrel, and he put spin tech on it. So spin tech, in our opinion, the way Leslie spin tech is, it bat lasts a little longer, a little bit better trampoline effect, more of a magnets effect. It spins the ball really good. So yes, those are the two things that were done to it, and the 3/4 ounce end load. Now, let me tell you guys, and if you guys are a Short Porch fan, you'll know where this bat, what it compares at. Because if you watch the video at 6:15 on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook, it's on my YouTube channel too, but on my Facebook page, this bat is mimicking the gray wig popper. Remember the one that had that little load in the end? It actually said it on the bat that it had a little bit more extra end load. This is what this bat is with spin tech. So, in a little bit softer barrel. So those loads on that gray wig popper, I think it was last year, beginning of last year. Yeah, it was the beginning of last year that it came out. We love that bat, that gray wig. Trey loved that gray wig popper. So I think that's what they lean more toward to get with a weight distribution. Okay. Leslie said they're going live after I'm off, because I'm going to get off here pretty quick because we're going to talk about this. Because he has the bat there, and basically he's going to talk about that bat. So what they did was that gray wig popper, they made the weight distribution numbers the same, softened the barrel up on Trey's new bat, and put spin tech on it. So basically that's what they did, guys. Guys, they're going to come up and they're going to talk. This is the first time that this ever happened that we did not get them on here, and that he was freezing up too. But I think it has a lot to do with the phones, because I do have an Apple, and I think he's got an Android or something like that. Or he goes with someone else, different. He doesn't do iPhones. So maybe going forward, because we're supposed to be on this big podcast in the next 2 weeks, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to set up where we're podcasting to everybody. We're podcasting to all the big channels out there, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. I think there were 3 more that they were going to put in there. That way it gets a lot of the information out that we're talking about. But I'm going to get off right here. You guys can go over to Short Porch and watch because they have the bat here. If Trey would have came by and dropped them off today, because it was supposed to, because they only brought down 2 of them. And another thing too, the numbers on these bats, 26, 25.5 and 26.5. They're not making 27.5. So they're not be making 20. We'll talk to Jeff about this. 26.5 and 27.5s. They're only making 60 of one and 60 of the other. And I don't know if I said that right. I have to check with him. So basically, I think they're 26.5s and 27.5s. That's what I think they are. But we'll check with them, talk to them, guys. Nice. I'll be again next week. Facebook Live, BP in the morning at about 9:15. Thanks for watching.